Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm always Blazing here, back with another video. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to be doing a product review, and the product we are reviewing today is we have Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner. So if you guys have never heard of Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner, it's basically a non-toxic, as it says right there, cleaning solution for your pipes, your bongs, your rigs, and a lot of basically things cannabis related where you can actually get a lot of resin on your pipes and stuff. So it's a really good cleaning solution. I'm not going to be cleaning my pipe today to do the test. I'm actually going to be taking a few dabs and I'm going to be showing you how it compares with using your regular 99% isopropylene alcohol. So I'm basically going to be doing like a test and giving you my opinion to see which is better. Is it better to use Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner to clean your bangers and your bongs? Or is it better to use isopropylene alcohol? Stay tuned and you guys will find out. So if you guys don't know exactly what Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner is, I'll explain a little bit of what it is and who made it and stuff like that. But basically, if it'll focus here, let's see. All right, perfect. So as you guys can see, the ingredients is non-chlorinated water, Karanja oil, processed coconut extract, processed kelp extract, and processed extract of sugarcane. So basically, as you can tell, Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner is a non-toxic, pretty much all-natural cleaning solution. It doesn't really smell like anything that much, which is also a plus, versus your typical 99% isopropylene alcohol, which is toxic, and there's a bunch of warnings telling you, don't get it in your eyes, don't get it in your mouth, and just a lot of stuff that is dangerous, I guess, to yourself. So that's one negative I can say for the isopropylene alcohol. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into this. I'm going to take a dab out of the Big J Klein, and I'm going to show you how this Karanja oil, or Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner, I should actually say, how it compares to the isopropylene alcohol. So yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back with a dirty banger. Alright guys, now that we're back with a dirty banger, I just finished taking a dab. We're actually going to get I should probably zoom out. We're going to get the isopropylene alcohol, the 99%, and we're going to clean this banger and see how she does. So yeah, let's zoom back into there. And there we go. So I'm just going to pop open this cap, just get a Q-tip and get a Q-tip. Dip it in top right in here, and we're gonna clean that banger. Alright, so we got it dipped in, and here we go. So as you guys can see, it's kind of lifting up the resin, kind of cleaning the banger nicely. Now we're gonna go with the clean side of the Q-tip and just kind of soak all that up. Personally, I don't recommend leaving your banger on inside your piece and cleaning the banger like this. I find it just puts a lot of pressure on the joint of the rig, which I don't really like. Usually I would just take the banger out and clean it myself because you could actually do it a lot better and it's a lot easier. But for video purposes, I'm just going to do this. Kind of just clean up here. The walls of the banger, I'm just going to take it off. Once you get your banger basically cleaned, hopefully this thing will focus. Perfect. As you can see, it's somewhat clean. There's probably like a little bit of oil in the corners right in there, if you could see. But other than that, it's pretty clean, I would have to say. Maybe a little bit on the walls over here. Probably clean that up a bit. But yeah, overall, I would say it did a pretty good job, the isopropylene alcohol. Cleaned it up pretty nice. I'm gonna say this though, for the isopropylene alcohol, I'm gonna have to give it some negatives. Reason being is when you open this bottle, it just smells like complete shit. I really don't like the smell of isopropylene alcohol. And yeah, like I said, when you open this up, it really smells bad. Not to mention when your banger is still warm and you use the Q-tip with the isopropylene alcohol, sometimes it'll actually burn off and create like a vapor and it'll just smell like burnt alcohol in your room. And it's one of the most unpleasant smells ever in my opinion. Like it burns your nostrils. It's just disgusting. It smells like toxic chemicals. And that's one thing I really, really do not like about using isopropylene alcohol. But I'm gonna say this, I have a positive for isopropylene alcohol over the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner, and that being because it's alcohol, naturally at room temperature, it's going to evaporate and just basically dissipate in the air. So when you clean your banger, let's say there's a little bit of alcohol left over inside of it, you don't really have to worry because after a few minutes, it's just gonna evaporate into the air. Not to mention when you heat up the banger with your torch, it's just gonna burn off the excess alcohol, excuse me. So that's one positive I would have to say, but the big negative is it just smells bad and it's not pleasant to use. So I'm gonna take another dab, get this banger dirty again, and we're gonna test out the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner as I almost freaking knock over my rig. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. So we have another dirty banger. I'm just showing you guys here just because it's kind of stuck in the side walls of the banger. But yes, I assure you it is dirty. So we're going to get the DC Canada, or the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner, made in Canada by a Canadian company, if I didn't mention that already. Excuse me. But yeah, we're just going to, you can't really see, I'll zoom out. Just going to crack open the lid here. As you can see, it's kind of like soapy. It's weird. Kind of like foams up like that. It is an oil, so that's what I just want to mention before we start this up. But yeah, let's zoom back in. Hopefully it'll focus. And you'll see. See how it just like, just freaking explodes almost? Like it just lifts up the resin and just sucks it right up. Like, look at that. That's insane. Look at the banger. The bottom's already pretty much clean. So I'm just gonna go in for another little dip. Clean that out. Sorry, my banger's kind of moving here. I'm gonna take it out and just clean it normally. As you can see, there's a lot of resin coming out just in like the first two Q-tips, or this is the first Q-tip technically. I'm using the second side. Sorry if it's going out of focus or out of the camera angle there, guys. It's really hard to do this when you're baked, trust me. I dare you to try it. Yeah, so we're just gonna soak this up with a clean Q-tip now. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Because this is the thing that I kind of do not like about the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner. It is an oil, so if you don't like properly dry out your banger with a clean Q-tip and get all the excess oil, it will just kind of sit there until you torch it off. But as you can see, this thing looks like brand new. Excuse me, I don't know why my voice sounds really weird right now. Sorry guys. But yeah, it's freaking spotless. Honestly, this DC glass cleaner is amazing. Like I said, it is an oil, so that's one downside I would have to say, is that if you don't clean it up properly, it will just kind of sit there and stay in your banger until you torch it, and then it'll kind of like flame up and kind of just bubble again like you saw before. But the plus side that I really do have to give to the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner is it just does not smell like anything. You could just get a huge glob of it and throw it in the banger and you would see it foam up and just do all this crazy stuff, but it doesn't leave a smell in the room. I don't know how they achieved this, but it is honestly amazing. Um, that's the biggest plus in my opinion. The room doesn't smell like shit. It's non-toxic, so you're not gonna get sick if you inhale it, or even if you drink it. You can actually drink this stuff and it won't kill you. It's actually crazy. The other thing too is it's actually reusable as well. I'm not sure if I would recommend that because once you use it once and there's all that resin in there, it doesn't really make sense to reuse that unless you could filter it out somehow. Then I guess you could reuse it, but for now, I think it's just a one-time use. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna have to give the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner a thumbs up. I really enjoy it over the 99% isopropylene alcohol. They both do the job, but in my opinion, for a non-toxic cleaning solution, and it's made in Canada as well, so I'm supporting local people. I would rather support that. If you're talking about prices, which I'm going to talk about briefly, um, the isopropylene alcohol for 500 milliliters is about $4.99 or $5.99, depending on where you buy it. And this is 950 milliliters of Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner, and that was $25. So it is more expensive versus if you were to buy 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter of isopropylene alcohol, you'd probably be paying $10 for. You'd have to buy another bottle of this, maybe a smaller one. That would be like another $15. So that's already what, like 35, $40. So it is significantly more expensive, excuse me. But in my opinion, it's worth it in the long run. It's a good product. It cleans just as good, if not better, than the isopropylene alcohol. It doesn't smell, it's non-toxic, and it's made in Canada, so what more could you really want? That's been my review of the Dark Crystal Glass Cleaner. If you guys haven't heard about them, check them out. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Have a baked day, and peace, guys.